Hello, my name is Abe, and today we're going to be taking a look at Breachway, which, if we're going back to form, is I think it's a roguelike deck builder, but it has some interesting visuals and settings, which I think could be kind of interesting. In particular, if you remember me playing Trigon Space Story, kind of has a sci-fi aesthetic where you can actually like you're looking at your ship and you're looking at the opponent ship and you're slugging shots between the two, and I think it could be kind of interesting. But at the very least, it's a demo. It's available on Steam. I've been meaning to take a look at it for a while. I have to sneeze. Excuse me. I do not confirm you taking my data. So we're gonna play a little bit of Breachway. Let's do a new run, play the tutorial, and if we wanna quickly check out the settings, here's the settings. And for once, it's a game that doesn't start on max volume. Thank you. Okay, probably at some point there's gonna be a proper introduction. It's the demo, I'm here for the gameplay. Anyways, I don't really care too much about the story. You're startled awake by a distinct loud-pitched beep of the door lock being overridden by someone with a high clearance card. How do you know their clearance card from the beep? As reality creeps back in, you recognize the cramped confines of your quarters on the Atlas and see something standing in the doorway. Captain, once it's on the command deck, says, "Lena!" "What? Lena, what?" He's wound up about something and it'll take a while for the sleep meds to wear off. Try to keep up. I don't think it's all gonna be this style. I think this is just, they don't have a proper introduction. As you step onto the command deck, an unusual flurry of activity surrounds you. The captain, studying a data feed scrolling across one of the consoles, spots you and waves you over. Our sensors picked up several explosions in the Solari-controlled region right at one of the research stations. Whatever's going on, it didn't nearly go as planned. This could be our chance to finally bring something valuable back. We've barely salvaged anything on this run. We need to move quickly! We're closer to the station than any fleet in the area. Taking the Atlas isn't an option. It'd be picked up by their scanners, we'd be done for. A small ship like the Magpie could reach the station undetected. It would operate on minimal reactor output. Okay, yes, we're gonna be doing a stealth mission. Prepare to head out. Ship selection, you have ship selection on the left. You can get an overview of your ship characteristics. So perhaps we can choose which ship to send out for which mission. Or maybe this is just the roguelite loop of the run, like different ships are different difficulties or different parts of the plot. Hardpoints, equipment, crew. Hardpoints are the number of ship slots. Equipment must be installed in the correct hardpoints, and crew is how many cards you hold in your hand. Hand size is your crew. How interesting. Ship selection is the Magpie. Orbit the camera while keeping the left mouse button held. Our Magpie is, I wish it would, there we go, focus on the ship a little bit more. It's hard to mouse over the ship and then rotate around it because the mouse cursor does not go away when I am rotating the view. So I'm mousing over these options on the left and then it's changing the camera focus. Little annoying, but it's not too bad. It's just minor. Okay, we have energy, a laser cutter, a basic shield, and engineering. So these are giving us starter cards. So the equipment on the ship, hello person, is giving us our cards. Okay. And I think because we have 3 crew, I think we get 3 different cards in hand. Follow the nav points, we should reach the wreckage in 2 days and rendezvous back. So there's if this is our path, waypoint, unknown, 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 there's a side path, and then our objective maybe at the very end. Or maybe our objective is down here. We'll stick to the asteroid belt as much as possible. Easy. Still don't see why the captain put you in charge of my ship. I guess this is the asteroid belt there. This is your captain. Watch your tone. Am I the captain? Which one of these characters is me? Come on now, we got a mission to do. I think I am the one up there. Maybe I'm Yvonne, I don't know. Everyone settles down, we're going. That's the station wreckage, we're going to the waypoint neutral. Console flashes up, the ship changes course heading in your direction. There's no way they spotted us, we've been running cold for almost a day. Just our luck then, the new path puts us right into their radar range, there's no way to avoid detection. Initiate combat, okay. Alcatraz says, hey Abe, did you ever play Tharsis? No, but I have seen Tharsis, that is the one that has dice, right? Like you roll dice, you can repair different sections of your space station, and you have to try to survive, if I remember correctly. Looked interesting, but I never did play it. Did it have a demo? I can't remember. Cards are split up into 3 categories: attack, tactical, and support. You require resources to play them, aka energy. We have 6 energy, we gain 4 per turn. Looks like we can accumulate maybe up to 8 and then roll it over. Resources carry over between turns. I wonder if it maxes out. Pips are how many resources it takes. Cards gain 1 pip. When all pips are filled, the card's border turns white, signaling that it will be played on the next turn. Passive playing of cards. Oh no, that's the opponent's cards specifically. Mine don't have the pips. Okay. Same slice, different thing. So next turn we're gonna be attacked. 2 turns from now they're gonna gain shields. Attack the enemy by playing 2 slice cards. Yup. Yup. Press the end turn button to advance to the enemy's turn. Not entirely certain I understand why we only did like 1 damage to the different parts of the ship, but maybe it spreads out the damage. Shields your defense. Each shield point blocks 1 point of damage. Shields halve at the start of each turn. Play the block card to prevent hull damage. How many shields do we have? Because we need 4, because you do 2 damage. Oh no, 4. I see. It gains 4 shield. Slice does 4 damage. Target lock has other effects as well. Okay, so these are the cards that we have in hand. I like, there's a couple of things that I like. I like the fact that when it's the opponent's turn, their half of the screen gets larger. That way we can actually see that it is in fact their turn. I might actually prefer that this bar be a little bit more prominent, because a black bar in the dark background is hard to see. I would also, I think, suggest that they probably can't do this because this is again, a feature of, what was the name of the game I was just talking about? Trigon. It was off angle. It was a little bit diagonal, which I think helped the visuals a little bit more. A flat vertical bar is a little bit less appealing. Immediately, I also would, I think, like to see more information about the cards without having to hover over them. That way I can just look at the screen and without having to like manually cycle through every single card to see what it does. Because block requires 2 energy, gains 4 shield. Why not just maybe expand this bar to encompass more of the screen? Perhaps we have too many cards in hand later on for that to be effective. Basic laser, barrier shield. I still don't understand how I didn't do a lot of damage, but we'll see. So block is gonna give us
shielded.
Block. I hate that. Played cards don't reshuffle into the draw pile once it's empty. Instead, they enter a cooldown pile for a set number of turns. Show next to the cooldown icon. Interesting. So you don't discard. Press tab or click on the stats UI to view your cards. Gotcha. So those ones are on cooldown. That's on cooldown. Target lock is in our hand. We can sort by equipment, by cooldown. I like that. I'm also gonna turn that off. Don't much care for that. FTL 3D says Ash and Rand. Well, except you don't have any of the internal characteristics that make FTL FTL. I also don't think I like this dithering of the shadows. Maybe I'll get used to it, but it just looks like it looks like the render is incorrectly handled in the game. That's what this shadow looks like. I think it's intentional, but It doesn't look appealing. I think if they were going for a dithering approach, make it dots instead of lines, because the lines do make it look like there's like a anti-aliasing problem, especially as I zoom in and out. They don't scale, like the lines move, but only to a point, to like the center of the model. Very strange. Okay, so resources and cards are maintained turn over turn. I could hit you. No, I don't. I don't have the energy for it. End turn. Persistent effects. Target lock support card can boost your damage. Okay, so we can... Damages targeted enemy equipment and hull. Costs upkeep, which is we have to play one attack per turn to keep it there. Okay, so if we target lock, damages targeted enemy equipment and hull. They have 10 hull. Okay, I understand it. So we get like double damage because with the target lock, then we can shoot for the equipment. Like we can shoot their slice off. No, maybe not. I don't know. I like the visual effect of that too. Looks kind of nice. I don't understand. Okay, you're attacking again. Block, end turn. Like, I don't understand why they have shields on the equipment, and it said I could target the equipment, but I couldn't target the equipment. I can only target the enemy ship. I'm not targeting their equipment specifically. Like, I'm having a hard time understanding how that's working. How many shields do you have? 2? This does 4 damage. We'll probably draw an attack at some point. Can I discard a card? You can, right click. No, right click, play the card. That's fine. Looked like beam damage to me. But like, this will kill the enemy. I understand that much. But it also wounded their equipment that had the shield on it. I guess maybe if you just do enough damage to the enemy, you can interrupt their attacks, but that's not being explained to me at all from the UI, the visuals, or the tutorial. So I think it's failing on all counts. It's also strangely laggy, but it might just be building shaders as like explosions happen. Look like another scavenger. Okay, yes. We need more firepower. Proceed. Ordnance is the main resource for attack cards. Inspect your resources. Left click on ordnance to add power to it. Okay. You can redistribute reactor power between your resources at any time. Three and 2, okay. Close ship status again. Well, we're gonna have a tutorial there. I don't exactly understand what ordnance means. Incoming ships. Do it again. You are a weird boomerang fish. Right-click on a resource to remove 1 power to it, left-click to add. Adding 1 power to a resource generates heat. Heat changes take place after playing the next card or ending your turn. Ships have a heat tolerance and dissipation. Lower 1 heat per turn. Okay. Each point of heat above your threshold results in overheat, does damage. Understood. So I guess having ordnance gives you more damage, or... Oh no, it's a resource for attack cards. I see, you have to have ordnance to use ordnance card abilities like laser pulse or beam sweep. We were just on the tutorial card, which was slice, the same thing the enemy had. Gotcha. Okay, so you are going to hit me for 4. I will block, and then I will hit you. I will do 6 damage. I don't target anything. It looks like I just, you know, attack the enemy ship. They have 10 health or shields on the heavy laser and 10 health or shields on their barrier shield. Okay, you know, if I mouse over it and hold, I can see where it is. That's the heavy laser. That's the shield. Can I beam sweep on equipment? No, just over the ship itself. It did 6 damage, which is what it said. It ignited 2, which was heat. And then it did 2 damage to each of the weapons. I still don't understand at all why, but we'll end our turn. Enemies preparing to fire a heavy laser, we need to take out his laser. Attack cards with precision can target and damage specific enemy equipment. Drag and drop these cards over the equipment card to attack it. Attacking enemy equipment also deals hull damage in most cases. Each enemy piece of equipment has durability. When durability hits 0, the equipment breaks, preventing it from playing cards or adding pips. Enemy equipment is repaired in 3 turns. When hovering over enemy equipment with the precision attack, the damage icon shows the durability damage precision cards will deal. Okay, so we have 4 damage. You see, so now we have a different looking UI here. Instead of dragging the card over, we very specifically drag it to one part of the UI. So this will do 4 damage. This will do 4 damage. Oh, I don't have... Okay. Oh, I see. During the turn, I can even get myself more ordnance power by doing this. No, I had to do it last turn. So I can't attack at all because I failed to give myself more ordnance last turn in the tutorial. So I have to just take the damage. Okay, I see. You can right click to discard unwanted cards. Consider discarding. No, I'm gonna be okay. So we have 3 ordnance and 5 energy. I don't need a block. Discard the block. Okay. So you can change your distribution of resources that you gain for the next turn, but that's it. Okay, discard the blocks. We're getting way too many blocks. But also we didn't have any attacks being drawn because they were all on cooldown. So now we can... Precision damage. Damages targeted enemy equipment and hull. Target lock. Oh, it adds damage to what we're targeting. Okay. So then we can... I see. We can hit you with a general attack. End turn. Your stuff is back online, but it didn't charge. I like the cool little drone animation there. Look, they rebuilt their stuff. We can do damage. We can do damage and kill you. Okay. I got it. That's a bit loud for the explosion sound effect, though. Like, please balance. Click on the subsystem reward to add it to your cargo bay. Okay, well, I'm gonna gain the gold. I'm gonna gain this. Gain this. Any attack from this weapon that deals hull damage adds heat to the enemy. Okay, fair. My ears! Magicraft does have a demo. I still think it's goated, says the Nor. Well, you can think what you want. We should activate the mass refiner, restore reactor to full, help us boost shields. Okay, so go ahead. Install it on our ship. I'll be claiming that as reparations for my ship once we're back on the Atlas. Okay, so yes, every mission has a reset. Gotcha. We have a reactor upgrade. We can boost the reactor power. You now have access to mass, used for upgrades and repairs. Add your upgraded power unit to mass. Subsystems enhance equipment and their cards. Draft the emitter onto the modified cutter. It keeps changing the equipment we get every time, I feel like. But no, this modified cutter is what we had last time. So we have one equipment slot. Now we have an equipment slot. Now it generates heat per attack. Still don't know what mass does, but you know, I'm assuming that will be part of the tutorial. Yes. Accept the ship message. Captain, I can't tell you how relieved I am to see another free roamer. I was certain I'd be at the mercy of the pirates closing in on the remains of the research station. What happened? I was en route to pick up supplies. Some unidentified ships appeared on the radar. Aliens? I don't know. Breachway is a travel system. They opened fire on the station. Defending force was taken by surprise and barely got off a shot. I've been floating ever since. Welcome on board, crew member. You're gonna give me another card. Things seem quiet. The radar is not picking up any ships. The tension of the crew is palpable. And Ashen Ran in chat is hungry. I would say just, like, make a sandwich. There still should be some functional equipment we can salvage. Now we have a choice. At about a week's rations, there's a ship lying in wait looking to get the jump on any unsuspecting ships. Power up the laser and let's circle around to catch them off guard. We can, I think because we have a crew member, a blue vent option, or we can move closer. Circle around, catch them off guard. First attack deals +3 damage advantage. Let's move closer and see what happens. Hey, it's an enemy ship, okay. Well, I mean, I was thinking we would move closer without getting that close, but I guess not. Crew members have abilities that will activate at will during combat. Hover over the crew members' portraits in the bottom right. They cost command points and have a cooldown. Command point capacity is based on the crew members aboard. Each one adds 3. I guess they don't recharge over turns. Attacks do more damage. Adds +2 turns to all incoming missiles and torpedoes. More shields. Gain 2 of each resource. Okay. So blocks now require mass, but they give us more block. It keeps changing what the cards do. I would prefer it if this tutorial would change the card. Instead of it being a block, make it a mass block or something. That way I have more of an indication that these things are actually changing. But with 3 different types of energy resources per turn, you have to micromanage your energy and your generation a lot more. Because I can only, well, I have 3 mass. I can play 3 blocks per turn if I want. You are dealing 8 damage, and you will deal 8 damage every turn. Deal 4 damage in 1 turn, deplete. Okay, so let's block. And we should do some damage. Because we can. And then we can save some resources, and turn, and draw. What the hell is that? Okay, end turn. That sounds about right. So they fired off the missile, and it's coming in. Incoming enemy missile. You can see incoming missiles in the lower left part of the screen. Above your hull points, missiles have a delay of 1 or more turns. Defend with shields or shoot them down with special missile defensive cards. I understand. 1 second. I have to Alt-Tab. Okay. So they're not doing any damage on this turn. 4 damage is coming in. I can't shoot it down, so instead, I will block it and then shoot them. We really do need to do more damage because we need to knock out their weapons, which is something that is not happening. So let's shoot their... Well, these things do more damage. Shoot those. We need to block. It does block for 6, but whatever. Get some block. Can't do anything else. Have to end our turn. Very slow dealing damage. I was thinking, was my computer, says Ashen Red. Oh, the boops. Yeah, boops. Boops, boops. Deal 6 damage. Deal 4 damage. Okay, I can take out their paired pulse weapon with force production, which gives me resources, which means that I can then... How many attacks do we have in the deck? We'll probably draw an attack next turn, so... Well, actually, we only have 1 attack that we could draw. I still think you do it. Target lock. Then we want to hit their weapon, and then hit all of their weapons. Why did that not... Oh, because... I see. Because I can't aim the weapon, it like spreads out the damage across all of the enemy equipment. Without being able to control that, that makes it very dangerous to use that as a reliance to take out enemy weapons. Cooldown drill laser, prepare for firing. Firefly missiles coming in 2 turns. I can block, and then I will end my turn. I will just deal with that next turn. If we're not taking damage, we can slow play it. Then we can sweep. We didn't play an attack last turn, so we lost our other ability that we had. I guess the laser may not take out the enemy weapons, because it did 0 damage to the equipment that time around. Which is still the thing that I'm having a hard time with. I don't know exactly why sometimes it seems like it will and sometimes it seems like it won't knock out the enemy weapon systems. You can add a card or equipment. Click on those to add them to your cargo bay. Basic missiles. Gain money, add a card. So we can add ammo dump. For 2 heat, we gain 4 ordnance, and deplete, probably you can only use it once per combat. Rampart. Gain 10 shield and 1 shield duration. So we can hold shield for a couple of turns, or blinding pulse. Next enemy attack deals less damage, so it's a pseudo block. I will take a block, because I feel like you are spending a lot of your turns waiting for things to happen, and we know what the enemy's doing, so we know if we need the block next turn anyways. That seems fine. I assume once we attach the missile, we're gonna get more attacks anyways. Morale determines the rate at which your crew command points recharge. Each crew member increases your maximum by 3, we're recharging 2. Certain event choices can temporarily or permanently affect your morale. Sweeping the wreckage, who knows what they're working on? I will be skipping much of this. We're gonna salvage their equipment. We have basic missiles, which will give us missiles. Understood. But because we have another crew member, well, we had another crew member, so we had 4 cards that we could hold. But now one of those, by adding more cards in the deck, it's less likely that we're going to be drawing blocks. That's why I added a block to the deck. So that was intentional. Incoming transmission. We've got a situation. We are rendezvousing with the patrol ships. Go the quiet way. Sorry for the boop boops. It is not intentional. I'm gonna silence the boops. Steam, you can be silent for a bit. Should be able to slip through the asteroid belt unnoticed. Okay, do some stuff. Path types, there's 2 paths, main paths and secondary paths. Moving to a node that is a secondary path consumes fuel, okay? But I have to go that way anyways for the tutorial. Picked up a distress call, civilians. Deadweight Raider could take pot shots at us. We'd be defenseless until our combat systems go online. We can gain morale at a disadvantage, or just do the combat. Let's gain morale, but do the combat at a disadvantage. Alias, welcome. Are you ready to jump in? I don't own the game that you are sending me a link to. I'm in the middle of playing a demo. If you play something out, if you play Peak afterwards, I'll jump in. But otherwise, I would like more notice ahead of time for things. Enemy ship has a flak weapon. Most attacks have a shred value. I do have to say, one thing about this demo is that it looks like an interesting game, but there's so many mechanics that they're throwing at you. You have 3 different types of energy resources effectively per turn, 4 different types of equipment you can hold onto your deck. You can add cards to your deck. You can add or swap out equipments or modules to the equipment that you have in your deck. You have crew, you have command points, you have recharge rate, you have heat mechanics, you have health, shields. Enemies have health, shield, heat, timings for their attacks. There's missiles that have a delayed attack. There's lasers that have on-hit attacks. You have precision, which can let you attack enemy equipment specifically, and then we have shredding and brittle, which is just, it's a damage type, or not a damage type, it's just like a buff or debuff and effect on top of that. But there's just a lot of like mechanics. Then you have fuel, you have crew morale and recharge rate for those abilities. It is a little much, and I feel like it's not that streamlined, because a lot of these mechanics don't really feel like they interact well together. But let's keep going. Shred value. Each point of hull damage adds shred up to that attack's shred value. Each point of hull damage adds shred. What? On 10 shred, the target sustains 1 brittle, which increases non-precision damage received by 1. Okay, if they do hull damage, you get shredded. At 10 shred, you get brittle, which makes you take more damage for the rest of the combat, I think. Exhaust cards. No other cards can be played after exhausting. Okay, so we could prep. Adds a counter to the end of each turn on reaching 3, fire 3 missiles. Okay, so it's a very slow attack, but good to play early. We can block all the damage. And we could do damage, but they want us to use this. All right, so prep is active. We've ended our turn. We're taking no damage. Deal 5 damage, shred 2. If applying brittle, deal 4 hull damage. And brittle increases damage taken by 1. This one weapon alone has several different types of mechanics. Let's end turn. Why would we heat the... Oh, heating the enemy makes them take hull damage. That's it, okay. Okay, so now they're gonna do 4 damage, so we just need another shield. Hey, this one will block next turn too. I don't have the energy for it though, so give me more resources. Thank you. And deal 6 damage in 1 turn, deplete. We can only play it once per combat. Go ahead, do it. I feel like we need energy next turn, so let's gain energy. Maybe like so. And then end turn. I suppose if you... Okay, hold on. Turn the damn sounds down. I suppose if you roughly knew the average composition of your deck in terms of ordnance, mass, and energy, you could just roughly have that amount of ordnance, energy, and mass coming up per turn. So like 50% ordnance, 40%, was it energy? 40% energy, 10% mass. You know, maybe you want to have 1 extra ordnance, maybe you want to have 1 extra mass. Sorry, or energy. Oh my god, so many different things. It's all effectively energy. It's effectively energy, it's just called different things except for the one that's called energy. So damage is coming in. I have enough block. I don't have to worry. I can play missiles. And I can play a missile. Or that's a laser actually. You're taking like 12 damage this turn. Is it gonna break any of your equipment? It looks like the missiles only came in after you ended your turn, but that is still, it's not, hold on, deal 6 damage, deal 4 damage, deal 6 damage, ignite 2. I don't think I can kill you. Your weapon is offline though, so you're not doing any damage, and your flak is reloading. So I think what I will do is shoot you, end my turn, and you took 1 hull damage because the attack still applied 1 burn. So it applied 3 burn. Having that preview be on the card would also be nice, because it says 2 ignition, I think. We can get a new card. Paired Pulse, deal 3 damage 2 times, which would also increase the heat by 2. Yeah, because it says ignite 2, it's actually ignite 3. Firecracker, deal 2 damage 3 times in 1 turn. If you don't have shields, gain 12, otherwise add 6. No, I don't think we need that. Gain 4 energy, sustain 2 heat. I think that would be nice. Because then you can, in the future, gain more, you know, ordnance. This is just a resource boost. I think that could be kind of nice. We get a gun, which I guess I can't really preview it right now. We'll preview in a second. Point defense is defense against missiles. Auxiliary equipment operates without a crew member and does not add an extra card slot in combat. Yep. So, oh, I see. It's just, it'll add cards to the deck, but it does also give us a defensive system. I don't know how to look at my deck. My deck. Where's our deck? Can I look at my deck? Ah, if you, whoa. Just left click it, it'll lock it in. It doesn't change, it doesn't have any like UI change that indicates that happens, but yeah, just left click it. If a missile is incoming, destroy it, else deal 2 damage. No VFX! Okay, well that's fair. You know, it's a demo. So it'll still do some damage. Okay. Let's progress. Close this. Repair station. I don't need repairing, but why not? Gunships! We're getting a hail. There you are, little magpie. I've been looking forward to a chat. He's got like robo things on his head. He's a cyborg man. Power down and prepare for boarding. No, we are not gonna do that. Alright, you have a lot of stuff. So your target analysis deals 1 damage ongoing. So you will do passive damage. Spread shot deals 4 damage. Shreds, slice does damage. Starflare's missile does damage. There's a lot of possible damage incoming. That's nice. Shield that will roll over is nice. We can block your missile with this later. So let's not play that. I'll fire my own missile at you and end my turn. Now we're gonna be blocking their current attack. We do need a little bit more in the way of defense, which we don't have. That's fine, doesn't matter. We'll take 2 damage, who cares? They've got 2 different types of shots coming in. Let's hit ya. Can't target. 12, 10, 12, 10. 12, 10, 12, 10. So that did 4 equipment damage spread out, but the weapon did 6 damage in total. Very strange. I will shoot you. I will shoot you. Probably... That's gonna be important to take out. End turn. We'll take 2 damage. But we're not gonna be under any debuff effect. I will destroy a missile. We don't have any shield cards in hand. I guess this has just been a bit of a bad draw. We can play burst. No, we can't. We can play prep. No, we can't. Gain resources, play prep. Deal +1 damage ongoing. Oh, it doesn't do damage passively, it just increases the damage of everything else that he does. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Upkeep, play at least 1 attack per turn. It does 1 precision damage, damages targeted enemy equipment, and halt. See, it adds 1 to all precision damage done. Which... Okay, we're taking just an absolute buttload of damage. Well, no, the missile's coming out this turn. I can't stop any of this damage because I don't have any shield cards, because they're all in the draw pile. This is the draw kind of screwing us here. I guess I will... play what I can and end my turn. I'm not breaking any of your equipment, so we're gonna take 11 damage. Hey, I can finally destroy your missile. And you're also going to lower my damage output in a brief moment. At least that was a very simple turn that we had. Blocked all the damage, because the block is worth 6 now, not 4. I keep thinking it's worth 4. The next flak attack deals double damage, and we need to break your target analysis. That'll happen soon. We are shredded, we're blinded, target lock is active, infrared emitter is still active. There is like 14 damage coming in. This might just be a defensive turn, along with lasering this. Denunu, welcome. Hello. Oh, new game, new demo. Checking out. I want to check out this history tab. Oh, it's just whatever was played. Laser cooldown. No reason to destroy the missile because we still have 6 shield. Instead, we will shoot you. And this does heat you up. It's not a precision weapon, but it still does damage, which I'm happy with. End turn. I do want to, like... do some more damage. But maybe I can do some more damage next turn. Ah, we're only taking 5 damage in this turn, which is a block. So... let's gain more resources. Block. Sweep you again. We do have the energy for this. Prep volley again. That's not, wait, is that the first time we've done that or the second time? It's purged out of the deck now, so now we're down to just these. 8 cards. I guess the missile defense cards were, I can't preview them. I guess they were consumable and I wasn't paying attention to that. It's fine. Danuna says I gotta sleep soon, gotta wake up in 3.5 hours to prepare for work. Go to bed. I would hate to be up that late. Next flak attack deals double damage, currently taking 8 damage. But I can knock out a weapon. Now we're taking 4 damage. We do not need this much mass. We're not doing anything with it. Give me more energy for now. Should have done that earlier. We only need like 1 per turn for each block, maybe 2 per turn. Okay, you are dead. End turn. All right, we took a bit of damage because we didn't draw any of our blocks, as anticipated. Scipio Sion, welcome. Preppin' D&D session. Ooh. I hope you have fun time playing D&D. It's over. You made it out alive. You sit back and relax. Preparing docking procedures. You disembark. Call to the director's office. We managed to extract some data from the research. Blah 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 blah. Perk unlocked. Start out with 40 gold. Don't do it, game. Don't give me meta progression, statistical upgrades, and unlocks in a roguelite deck builder. That's kind of an immediate miniature turnoff. Arbalist. Next. Marauder. Lancer. Firebrand. Avalanche. Let's take a quick, so that was the tutorial ship. Let's take a quick look and see what's going on with the rest of these. Ship reactor currently giving us 6 on most of these. There's like a defaults. Okay, these ones are just a color swap, basically. Seems like there's a defaults, like reactor loadout. Got a railgun. Deal 4 damage, +1, for each destroyed and disabled enemy equipment. +1 comma? Destroyed and disabled, so it does more damage the more you destroy enemy equipment. Drill round, on equipment destroyed, deal 4 more hull damage. Kinetic shot just does a bunch of damage. Suppressor. Add 1 security, protects from hacking. Energy cost is increased by security. Returns to your draw pile. Disable targeted enemy equipment for 1 turn. Okay, so you can... Applies of target... If secured, remove 1 pip per... Oh, remove pip, like, from the charge of the weapon. I see, I see. So you hack enemy equipment and then you can make them take a lot longer to actually fire. +1 reactor power, upkeep, ship is not overheated on turn end. So you can gain a boost for the rest of combat with that one, okay. Firebrand does fire damage, as expected. You have a shield. I see, this ship also doesn't even have a shield system. You have to stall the enemy attacks by hacking them. Which seems like you would take a lot of damage on that one, honestly. Missile Fabricator probably stops cards from being consumed. And some of these are locked, you know, unavailable in the demo. Okay, so it's an interesting game. I kind of like some of the presentation here. I like anytime you can manipulate your deck, or in the case of this game, it's actually like swap out equipment that all has different, every 8th attack costs 0. You have different equipment that gives you different cards in your deck. It's an interesting game. I think that the presentation could be improved upon a little bit. I really don't like the swimming textures is what it looks like is happening whenever I move the mouse. It's due to the like weird parallel line dithering shading that they're applying to the ships, but I don't like the way that that looks. It gets a little bit framey at times. It's kind of a little stuttery whenever things are exploding, which you wouldn't expect, so I'm not entirely certain what's going on there. Otherwise, you know, it's interesting. It's doing something different. It's not just another Slay the Spire clone roguelike deck builder. Multiple different, well, there's maximum capacity per one of these too. Having multiple different energy types feels like it does leave you sometimes wanting more of one type versus the other. That's why you have the entire system of being able to change this before you actually end your turn or before you engage in combat. It does feel like it does require a lot of attention. Not necessarily micromanagement, but like you need to look to see what's in your draw pile. You need to see what, you know, the average energy that's coming up, what you're going to be wanting to play, what you have in hand, adjusting this, you know, pretty much not every turn, but occasionally adjusting this so that you have the appropriate energy types available for the cards that you're going to be drawing next turn, where, you know, the simplicity of just having energy, like one type of energy, is that the player can always just decide what they're going to be playing on the fly instead of having to consider it this much. It's a lot of forward thinking involved here, including things like the missiles. You know, next turn they're going to shoot a missile. In 2 turns that missile's going to land. Your missiles take 3 turns to land on the enemy ship. There's a lot of forward thinking there. So it's a bit complex, but it is interesting. Currently this game is in early access. I didn't actually read to see how long it was going to be in early access for, but this is just the demo of it. Hopefully, you know, it's just occasionally slightly improved upon as it progresses. I would prefer it if your weapons took into account like the buffs and debuffs that were currently applied, because like laser pulse, okay, deal 4 damage, but also 1 heat because I have the heat thing active, plus 1 more damage because I have the boost that increases my precision damage by 1, but minus 1 damage because the enemy has a debuff that lowers my damage by 1. Like, all that stuff should be calculated. Put it on the card. I want to see at a glance what's happening. I've already done the mental math necessary to play those buffs on previous turns. You can simplify the calculation of the damage numbers. But yeah, interesting game. It'll be, I think it just needs more work. I think that coming back to this later, maybe we can take a look at the demo at another time to see how it progresses. But I appreciate that it's doing something new. I like being able to see my ship and the enemy ship at the same time. Standard FTL mechanic, but with a little bit more visual flair because it's 3D. The presentation of that could be improved as well. That black bar that slides across the screen, very framey. I don't know why it's so framey. It's very stuttery. Just overall, like, visual improvements and aesthetics can be improved upon. But yeah, that is, what is the name of this game? Breachway is the name of this game here. Breachway, demo available on Steam. For now, for those of you on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe for more. Check me out on Twitch for when I go live, support the channel at the various links below in the video description, and I hope to see you here again for the next Let's Look At.